Your back doing okay?
Yeah, it gets a little bit better, a little bit better.
Good.
I pulled something in there.
Yeah, well, that's the way backs are.
Yep.
They are not quick. Not quick. Well, I think we have a cloudy day today.
Yeah. 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 It's supposed to even rain a little bit this morning.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, one of those.
Yeah.
Look out your window if you really want to know.
Yeah. That's what the forecasters do.
Yeah. I think we're supposed to get rain tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, and Friday too. Yeah.
When do you guys leave?
Monday.
Monday. Oh. So you've got the weekend to pack.
Yeah, well, yeah. Uh, we have little piles of this and that all over the place. So,
Of course.
yeah, we'll check once more on the long range weather to see what we need to take. We're thinking of it's going to be best to layer. Um,
Hmm.
the south of France will be warmish, sort of the way it's going to be here the next few days.
Uh huh.
And up in Normandy, it's going to be 10, 15 degrees cooler.
How much?
10 or 15 degrees.
Ah. Yeah, so you might want a little something else more.
Yeah.
Good.
Do we have a full house today? I can't remember.
Supposedly,
Okay.
as far as I know. We'll see.
So in the other class, Jeff is going to be here with you next week, but then not 2 weeks.
No, he'll be here next week and maybe the week after,
Okay.
and definitely not the following two.
Okay.
Um, you know, Kate is from Australia,
Yes.
and she takes Jesse and goes back for a visit every summer.
Yeah.
So Jeff is helping her and Jesse by um, going with them to I think San Francisco or maybe it's L.A. I don't remember.
I think it's LA,
Yeah,
help with the transition.
yeah. And then he's going to see some friends who live out there.
Yeah.
And so he's taking a little bit of vacation for himself, which is good. He needs it.
Yeah.
Um, so you'll get private lessons when you come back.
Yeah. Yeah, you may even have a week to practice on your own.
I might, yeah. Well, guys, I didn't have any messages this morning.
I don't either. Usually I get the ones from Carol and Joanne.
Yeah, yeah. Bill is often a moment or two late,
Mm-hmm.
but that's all right. But no, I don't have anything except spam.
Yeah.
I, I haven't driven for several years. Uh, Yesterday I got one that said there was a warrant out for my arrest because of a traffic violation.
Yeah, I've gotten 3 or 4 of those, and Cynthia's gotten at least one. So
Well, that was my first one. Good morning, Joanne.
Good morning.
good
Sorry, I'm a few
morning.
minutes late, but I see where's everybody?
I I don't know. I'm we,
No, I
we
got a doctor's call 2 minutes before 9 o'clock. Of course,
oh, of course, of course.
they said I don't know if you had this problem, but that it was the nurse. I had called yesterday for a referral because Rick needs his new hearing aids, and you're talking to an AI. You're talking to hello,
Oh,
this is Jean, your AI helper. They are never very helpful.
that's right. I'm sorry. That's an application of AI that I don't think is very good.
No, I don't either. And both Hartford Healthcare and Rick's primary care doctor both use them now, and I
Yeah.
really hate it.
Good morning,
Anyway,
Carol.
anyway,
Good morning.
Morning.
hi, Carol. Nice to see
Hey.
you from afar.
Yes.
At least it's this. At least we can do this.
Yes, at
Yes.
least we can do this. Um, I don't know where Mr. Bynum is. I thought he was going to be here, and he might yet. Let us go ahead, and
Yep.
I'll let him in if he comes. So, questions about opening and closing? How is it doing?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I did find doing the chance to gym very helpful, right? Especially walking,
Yeah.
rather than just doing it standing, which I feel like when I'm standing, I'm not just really fully engaged in it as much. Um, yeah, and it's too easy sometimes, which is I think one reason I want to walk in it to only think of the top half of our bodies in this because they're all more available to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here's Bill.
Carol or Mr. Nagel? Morning, Bill.
Morning, Bill.
Apologize for being late. I'm just late.
Okay.
No excuses.
It's okay.
It happens to all of us.
Yep.
Yeah, I sort of same as what I said yesterday. I feel it in bits and starts. Also, the Chansogen helps, and I've been doing cloud hands too, and that helps.
Uh-huh.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an opening gesture.
Good. Carol?
I've been opening and closing for a long time, so
Yeah.
I don't know that this is adding anything.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Don't you you don't have to add anything.
I mean, I'd be interested if we're going to move down to the feet soon, because that's someplace I could use some work.
That's harder. Yeah.
We,
I think,
we,
yeah.
we will. Not today, but we will. Mr. Bynum?
Yeah, even though we've talked about opening, closing, expanding out and in, extending out and in rather, multiple times, even in the course of this class. This time, I think it's really softened the muscular part of my doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it has been somewhat transformative. It just feels softer muscularly and like there's a little more extension and expansion.
Uh-huh. Good. Okay. Well, I want to continue with the elbow today. With the elbow, we actually have 3 other positions that we need to be sure we're opening and closing in, because we use the elbow in so many movements and in so many ways. Not only in Qigong and Tai Chi, but in all kinds of things in our own lives. And so, obviously, the first one we might think of is simply having the elbow turned 90 degrees to the side instead of down, as we worked on last week. And then there's 45 degrees down to the earth. And in particular, one of the trickiest ones is when the hand is facing the earth. And when it is, one of the things about that is that you want to have the sense that your elbow is pointing downward as well. So we're going to look at all 3 of these because these are the positions, as I said, that we use a lot in everything that we do, the way we move our arms and our body. When your body has to either project or absorb force from another body for whatever reason, that's one of the situations, or is the situation in which opening and closing can be extremely helpful. These are the basic. These 3 are the basic positions, and the basic ranges of motion that you want to make sure your joints are opening and closing for the health of your joints. So this will be easy when we get to practicing it to stand, I'm not going to do that for a moment. I'm going to sit here for a minute just as I go through this. So we're going to do really the same process that we did when we had the elbow pointing towards the earth. So we usually start with a 45-degree angle, and we do the same things. We find what's that 100% range, and so that we really know what we can do in that position. But then we have to open that elbow 20 or 30% in order to be able to open and close the 70% that pumps the fluids in the body, all of them. When we go to the 90-degree position, one of the things, as you know from your Tai Chi training, is that you want the elbow slightly lower than the wrist. And one of the reasons for this is that it releases the shoulder. As soon as you get fully to 90 degrees to the side, the shoulder begins to tighten and lift. So it has to come down just a little bit. It's not a lot. And obviously this range of motion, very similar. And we open 30% and then feel how you can open and close in that position. And the one that's kind of interesting is when your hand is down, as if you were carrying a suitcase or something that was hanging down. So the arm is pointing downwards. You want to sense that the elbow is pointing downwards. And one of the things here is that the full range of motion here is not as great as it is in the other three, because as soon as you go too far with it, you lift the shoulder. So this range of motion is much smaller. And then, of course, opening the 30% and finding how do you pulse here? How do you open and close? Where is that range of motion? And one of the things in any of these positions is that you will find a place that the arm wants to stop when you've gone as far as it needs to go. So certainly similar to what we did before, but a little different because of the position that the arm is in, of course. So I'm going to ask you to stand up. And so the first one is to do the 45-degree position. One thing is don't lift the hand too high. Let your shoulder relax, but let the elbow drop so that you're really on a 45-degree angle. And then find that full range of motion. Bring the arm out and fully back, finding the full range of motion. And then pause somewhere in the middle of your range and open that 20 or 30%. We talk about 30%, but it is whatever it is for you. So we sort of think as maybe 20 or 30%. And then pump. Actually open and close. Focusing on the elbow. You're really trying to find the pressure that tells you what the correct positions are. And if at any point anybody has a question or wants to make a comment, please do so. And remember that in doing this, you're only moving 70% out and 70% in. So at the moment, you're just trying to find where is that maximum range of motion where that release occurs, and then you can compress in. And you're looking for the motion that is not completely muscularly driven. You're trying to find how that energy works in your arm and elbow. And then go to 90 degrees and start by actually bringing the arm parallel to the earth, and then let that elbow drop. Feel what happens when you do that. And there's a little rotation of the arm, actually, very slight, that allows the elbow to drop below the level of the wrist. And then you're looking for that 100% range. So going out and in as far as you can. And then coming back somewhere in the middle of your range and trying to release that 30%. Feeling the elbow let go a little bit. And then pumping at 70% of your movement. So it's not going to be huge. Really trying to feel that pressure. Really aware of the maximum effect of that pump. And you can do both arms together if you're comfortable doing that, but sometimes it's really helpful to only do one arm at a time so that you can really focus on it. And now go to the position of letting the hands, the fingers face the earth. And finding where that maximum range of motion is without lifting the shoulders. Just make sure your shoulders don't lift. If you're doing just one arm, you can actually put a hand on the shoulder so you can really feel what's happening there. Then let the arm relax and find that 20 or 30% opening of the elbow. So you really have to allow that to happen. You have to release that. You're not bending and extending now. That's happening, but that's not the focus of what you're doing. And then opening and closing that 70%, which is going to be a smaller range here. And that's okay. But you want to find the same sense of pressure and fluids moving. One of the things you find, particularly in this position, is that you're going to find your fingers getting warm because you're moving blood. And one of the things that does is it not only creates that pressure, but it moves the blood and it warms the fingers. Okay, so relax this. Then I want you to do one other thing. Go back to the 45-degree position, and I will suggest maybe just one arm at a time at the moment. And let that elbow open 20 or 30%. And then see if you can open and close without any movement. Just let the arm remain still. And see if you can begin to create that pressure and the movement of the fluids without moving the arm. It would be good to do both arms. So change arms and be aware of any difference between the arms. Let's relax and talk for a minute. Obviously, as I have said, really fully accomplishing opening and closing takes time and practice. It doesn't happen in a week or a month. You can begin to feel some development fairly rapidly sometimes, but you don't want to have any doubt that you're doing it. If there's still a question, then you haven't quite gotten there. So, how was that? What happened? Did any of those positions seem more difficult than the others? Could you feel the pumping action in each of those positions?
I could. Yes, and I think like Carol, I've been opening and closing for a while. So what I found was in the last one, in terms of not moving our arms, that was a little more challenging. But I got it immediately on my right side, but my left side was a little off.
Uh-huh.
There was something, something kind of not clicking.
Yep. Good. So kind of points to the need to work a little on opening up
my
left side. Good.
I find it strangely easier without moving
Mm.
to
Good.
be aware of it. The moving kind of got in the way. Or not so much that. It's just that both the downward one and then this last one, without moving, then it was much clearer to focus on just the opening and closing.
Yeah. That, I think that's an indication of the fact that you have been able to do opening and closing for a while. Good. Bill or Bill?
Well, I'm not quite there yet, I don't think, because I still have doubt about what I'm experiencing. But I do think I can feel the opening and closing. I just don't have much experience to measure it against. I will say that holding the arms still also was easier for me, in terms of perceiving something going on. And that may be because if the arm is moving, I then have an extra step to differentiate between muscle and
Yep.
not muscle. Yeah. And the left and the right are rather different, for me, but that was always going to be obvious. I have a good amount of arthritis in my left elbow and no rotator cuff in the left shoulder, so that doesn't move as easily, but that shouldn't affect opening and closing.
Not really, no.
For me, about a third of the way through, I realized that I wasn't breathing.
Oh
That made
dear.
a big difference.
There was no
Funny about that.
falling over.
Well, that's a good awareness,
Yeah, I
Bill.
wasn't breathing in any organized way.
Right.
And what were you feeling?
Yeah, I think I did, especially with the arms down. I think I was feeling a little bit of the pumping that you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Not so much high. I was really focusing on relaxing things more while doing it. But
Oh, good. Good. Okay. So, what I'd like you to do is actually to do the dynamic sphere, but do it in a bow stance, so that you can shift forward as you're opening and shift backwards as you're closing. And one of the reasons for doing this is being aware that what's happening on the other side, whichever way you're doing it, is opposite. So when you begin and the right arm has closed, the left arm is open. And those reverse as you go through the pattern. So one of the things would be to go, depending on how clearly you feel that, one of the things is to go kind of slowly with this, not to rush. And you can certainly change to the other side, because it's going to be different when you start with the left foot forward and the left arm. And as I have said, there are only about 98 more variations of this, so there are lots of things you could do. But I think this is this is helpful because it begins to make it possible to feel the opposite things happening in each side of the body. If you know the single arm 8 gates and you want to try it with that, that's fine. I don't think everybody's probably been using that enough recently to be able to do it, but Joanne, that's quite all right. It makes it a little more difficult, but maybe you like the challenge.
Yeah.
So try that. Oh, and one of the things, let me say, so it's important to remember that when you step out and come into your center position, that's when you open the elbows 20 or 30%. And then you go into your bow stance with whole body movement and into the actual pattern. So don't just jump into it, but take the time to feel that. And if you can't be aware of both arms at the same time, then do them one at a time. Really establish your awareness in the more active arm, and then keep it moving and take your attention to the other arm. So, any questions about that?
So we're going to stay in the bow stance and just use one arm and not step forward and switch arms, right?
Well, we are, yes, you are, because I want you to do it on both sides. So, do do some number on one side and do the same number on the other side. Okay? Do you want me to give you a number? do 10 on each side.
Okay.
Just stay on that side. Okay, I got you now.
Yeah.
Stay on each side with just the one arm and then reverse and do the other arm? Or
Yes, but you're being aware of both arms.
yeah, I know, but
Right,
it's
but
not
we're just gonna keep
doing
going
one
back.
and then doing the other.
You can if you like. That's fine.
Just to keep
But at some point, change feet.
Change
backwards.
feet. Right. Because it is different when you are doing the left arm active with the right foot forward or vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay?
All big confused enough now.
I'm looking for somebody who's not confused.
Not what?
I'm looking to one of the other three who's not
To start.
confused.
So just relax. Mr. Bynum, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I tried to turn my camera back on and it says video disabled by host.
Oops.
And I have no idea how to turn it back on.
Oh, you cannot start your video because it is disabled by host.
Well, I hit something there. I wonder if
Why
you
don't
could.
I'll leave and come right back.
Yeah,
Well,
that,
if Bill goes, well, never mind. I was thinking, David, if you went to the corner of Bill's, there are three dots, and that might have been able to how you could turn him back on
but,
again.
but I don't have him.
You don't have him now. He left.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have him before. I have his voice.
You didn't have the black box.
No,
Oh,
no. I don't know what I hit.
there he
My
is.
my apologies, Bill.
Okay. I thought I was making such a mess of it. You just,
Yeah. So, what was your experience there?
good. I think if you had to pick a favorite, this would be one of my tops for all the things we've done. So, but, yeah, I think doing that and thinking about the opening and closing, um, because it's so familiar, it's easy to think about the opening and closing and have that working.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not as difficult as doing it in either gods or a form. Yeah. Someone else?
The being aware of the other hand
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and trying to focus on opening and closing that other hand was interesting
Yeah.
because occasionally it seemed to work. And it's, oh, okay, yeah, I feel that. And other times it was not particularly good, but got moments of it.
Good. Yeah.
That was
It.
true for me too. I mean, I always think of that hand as being connected to the earth. That's and having it connected to the earth and opening and closing was a little bit like walking and chewing gum.
Yeah. It is. And if you think about it, this isn't true in gods, but well, most of the time. Uh, but in any of your Tai Chi forms, you are frequently doing different things with each arm, each side of the body. So developing that ability to be aware of two things happening at once uh, is just one more step. I mean, you've learned hopefully to feel bending and extending and twisting and lengthening without having to think about it. And those are happening in opposites on each side. That so it's this is not a that we brought in something new from that part of the concept. Opening and closing may or may not be new or comfortable for you yet at this point. Bill or Joanne, anything you'd like to add?
No, I think in the practice, I just also realized the left side again it didn't engage as much. I mean, it is my weaker arm, but it shouldn't be that weak. But I did, after doing 10 on each side, I did try to go back and forth, and the left side was better after I started on the right. It was just kind of the energy kept flowing. I
Yeah,
felt like the energy went into it better in doing it that way. Yeah.
good. Anything for you, Mr. Nagel?
I had I sense the opening and closing in each arm, but not simultaneously.
Yep.
If I was focused on this quote still arm, I could sense it there, but I wouldn't want to bet on what my other arm was doing. I think it was doing the right thing, but that's a matter of faith right now.
Yeah.
The other thing which doesn't really involve this lesson today is that doing the Chansa-Jin reminded me about whole body movement.
Yep.
And we talked about that yesterday, David, and I think I'll borrow some of that and apply it to the form.
Uh-huh. Good. Good. Yeah. Yes. Whole body movement is quite important. I think we
Yeah.
all agree about that. Good. Okay. So, any other thoughts or questions at the moment? So, explore and play with this, and obviously connect the elbow to the fingertips,
Yeah.
as well as just being aware of the elbow and the arm. And you can certainly play with it in Gods. So, lots to play with. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bill, have a great trip.
Thank you.
Where are you
I'll be
going,
away
Bill?
for a couple of weeks in France.
Wonderful.
Very nice. Enjoy. Bon voyage.
Merci.
Enjoy those croissants.
Yeah.
And brie.
Yeah.
And brie. Yeah. Yeah, I won't be here next Wednesday. So
Okay.
a smaller group. It's the Coast Guard Academy. Our annual Trump is coming to town.
Ha. Oh.
I was hoping it wouldn't be him, but it is. But I would have been there anyway. But anyway,
Yeah.
there's all sorts of drama around that, but I won't go into it, I promise.
You're not going to demonstrate?
No, I will. Demonstrate what the demonstrate. Just like you say, there's a lot of newbies who kind of all think they know absolutely everything, and then suddenly they realize they don't, and it's like,
Live and
I was
learn.
looking at a Google map saying, "Why can't we protest there?" And they're not realizing it's behind the fencing. The Coast Guard Academy. Like, come on, folks. People have been doing this for 25 years. This is not new.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You do have some idea about it.
we do. And even though anyway. The drama. Okay.
Yep.
Part of my job, though, is like you have to bring, you have to find a way to mentor the next generation without being condescending or without being, but we've always done it this way.
Yeah.
At the same time, reinventing the wheel a week before.
Yeah.
To some degree, not totally, and they got some good things, and I'm not worried. They're not like into violence. It's none of those. Those are bigger problems.
Yeah.
It's just a level of naivete sometimes, and then when I point something out, they're like, "Oh, think about that."
Well, see, they can learn from you, and you may learn from them.
I believe in mutual mentoring. That's very true. That's
Yep.
very true. Yeah. So, but it's also very time consuming if you're going to do it right. Patience is a revolutionary virtue.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I'll go back. Yeah, 'cause they were binging me all morning, and I'm like, nope, ignoring those things. So deal with it when I can. Anyhow,
So, any discoveries in practicing the form this week?
I did very little. I feel like I'm really cheating this class and myself with this. I just can't because I'm taking 3 classes, right? And I just, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday practice is great. I got practice in every day. I felt like I was And then Monday and Tuesday were like kind of nightmares of 8 a.m. calls,
Yeah.
because of all of this stuff coming up,
Yeah.
and people
Yeah.
only being available early in the morning,
Right.
So then I'm kind of scurrying around trying to make sure I'm ready by 8 and the Tai Chi goes away.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's kind of your reality at the moment.
it is. But I feel like this is that the form is what gets left out more than the other two.
Yeah.
Maybe because there's more new learning there that's kind of exciting, and I'm drawn to it, and I really want to kind of build that,
Yeah. Well,
but
it
anyway.
it is when you have time, you can apply it to your form.
Yes.
So
And Carol,
I did.
have you been doing the form? Have you been able to?
Not often. I did the whole thing this morning, which was and focused on open and close.
Uh-huh.
And got to Fair Lady, and I need to work on figuring out what the opening and closing is. There is this open, or is there some sort of close in between those two movements?
but which two?
Well, the strike, the deflect and strike.
Between
Yeah,
the
some of them it's really hard to figure out.
yeah. You mean between between the fact that we have obviously probably Ryu going in one arm and G in the other, and then but in that particular one we actually have G. So is that your question?
Well, yeah, I was thinking that it was probably something along those lines.
Yeah. So
But I just noticed it, and then when I went to isolate on that part, my brain said, "No, you got to move on here. I can't get it right. I can't even get the postures right. So
yeah.
try this another time."
So the upper arm just continues, and there's certainly, well, you've got a transition because it as you step into it and begin, you're closing, and then you're opening. And what happens is that this arm just opens, but this arm actually has, it's happening so fast that you can't think it. But what's happening is that it's opening, closing, opening, closing, opening.
Okay.
But that has to be heart mind level. It's not you can't do that on the conscious level. And then follow and focus is the same as
Follow and focus. Yeah.
what we've done before, but there is the answer to that question.
Yeah. That actually helps.
Good.
Yeah.
Any other questions or postures you'd like to ask about?
I felt like the rest worked pretty well.
Good.
No, but it dawned on me when we were talking at the beginning of class, Bill mentioning the helpfulness of wave hands, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Cloud. So, where I'd been doing the chance to ding it across the room. So yeah, so that kind of intrigues.
The cloud hands.
Cloud hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wave hands. Yeah. So
Not wave hands, but cloud hands.
Okay, that's something I want to look at this week. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that is an interesting one.
I mean, if I've got something like that to kind of really, yeah, that kind of moves me a little bit more towards, oh yeah, I have to do that. I wrote it on my post.
And the nice thing about that is that it's that's a nice one in which it is you can approach it in a very same arm coordination initially, and ultimately it might not be, but certainly that's one level of practice with it.
Yep. Yep.
So
Okay.
it goes on and on.
Yes, it does. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I remember we used to do Chance and Jing kind of walking around and around, right? So there's no beginning and no end.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, Bagua has certainly impacted that too. Well, if you don't have anything else, we'll. Any chance that you'll be able to come over here?
Well, I'm hoping. I mean, we're actually losing our home health aides soon because just because Medicare, the insurance is running out.
Yeah.
I do have Rosina here for a few more Wednesdays. One or two Wednesdays after next Wednesday when I can't come. So I was thinking I should try to see if I could just come down as long as Ro is here, because they're helping with some of the War Resisters League archival stuff. So, but and then helping Rick also. So it's good to have them here for. I did skip out yesterday for a quick meeting, which I almost never do, but then they were here for lunch and stuff. So. Yeah, so it wouldn't be next week, but how about I can aim for the 27th, and I think they're gonna get their other job back, by the June 8th. But and then on the 3rd he has more surgery. Oh my God, they're all Wednesdays. How about we aim for the 27th? Carol, I don't know how that works for you, but I could try to work with Rosina about. Going out there.
Cool.
It will really depend on what's going on with John.
Yeah, and you're not sure either, right?
Because right now he's been having trouble peeing, which I'm thinking he's not drinking enough. Whether so.
Whether that's at the root of it or Rick's still on a catheter because he. And the urologist has now said it's neurological, it's not physical. So it's whatever that snap was.
Yeah.
That still created that cognitive impairment is part of that.
It's going all over the place.
Yeah, it's affecting a number of organs as well. As right, whatever's happened in the brain is it's not just memory, but it's physical. Because actually, the dermatologist. When we saw her, which is like 3 weeks ago, I think now, she asked about the original bump that brought him to her because he came home from work one day with this raised wall bump on his cheek, and he went to the walk-in clinic, and it went away, and it wasn't I thought it might have been melanoma related, but it wasn't. And because they say it wouldn't have gone away if it was. But the dermatologist, totally separate from the urologist, said, I think it might be neurological.
Wow.
So 2 different doctors, not talking to one another, because it was the urologist at the Bacchus and the Yale, dermatologist, both said of a different symptom, I think it might be neurological.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And I'm not assuming we'll get lots of answers the first visit, but we'll see.
Yeah. At least get started.
At least get started. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, let's see. Carol, we'll play it by ear. We'll be in touch today.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll
I'm
aim-
also in that if Ro can't be here, or if there's something else going on, then
Yeah.
I can't leave either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still leaving him alone, but I'm getting less comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Well, we flow.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll manage somehow, but let's see what we can do. Yeah.
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 Well, we have to start doing more online than we have been. So,
Yeah.
good. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right. Well, and not me next week, but Carol.
Not you. Right.
Not you. Yeah.
Carol
I'll
next
be
week.
up. I plan to be here.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's just as well that it's on Zoom because I have a massage at 11 afterwards. So
Oh, okay.
Fast.
basically, leave class and go get a massage,
Great. Sounds like a good day.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
providing John's okay. Let's see.
Okay. Wow. Hang in, guys.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.